Hello guys, I am recording this to maybe help people who play Valorant and they want to get into Apex. And they don't really have a good video or like a jumping off point to kind of understand the game quickly. So this video, I'm kind of going to go through certain things that may help you kind of get in the mindset and get ready to sort of play this game. So Apex is a movement shooter, more so than Valorant. Valorant, you kind of stand still, hold an angle, and kind of like one tap the opponent when they kind of turn the corner. This game is all about moving, so moving around is quite fast, and you get slides as well. Moving with a weapon is quite fast, but if you want to move even faster, you press 3 on your keyboard. You can change the keybind, and you'll move even faster. And you can kind of get into slides much quicker that way. Another thing that's quite different regarding the movement is that moving and shooting is not as punished in this game as in Valorant. In Valorant, when you shoot and move at the same time, bullets go everywhere and you'll never hit your opponent. But in this game, moving is quite literally what saves you from being shot. So let's say this target here, if I aim, shoot, the recoil on it, but it's quite accurate. But moving and shooting is still quite accurate. Even this opponent here, shoot, headshots, it's dead. But even like moving around, I still hit my shots. And as the enemy is shooting you, crouching and moving, you will dodge bullets and maybe win a fight that way.
Shield. Reload. That's the first of my that enemy shield.
Another thing I see that people struggle with is getting in a position where it would be good to fight. Usually, what I see beginners do is that they kind of see an enemy or expect an enemy, and they're kind of out in the open like this, looking around, wait until they see an enemy. But that's kind of not what you want to do. There are two things you kind of want to do. You want to find an object in the space that you can use as cover. You kind of use this and you can peek like that or wait for an enemy to come. And that, and then you're ready to kind of shoot them. Or get high ground. High ground is another way to kind of set yourself up for a great fight. That shooting down is much easier than getting the shooting upwards. So the higher the ground you take, the sort of better the angle, and the more the likelihood that you're gonna win is much higher. During a fight, you may lose your shield or your HP or whatever. Shielding makes no noise for the opponent when you do it, so shielding is a better option if enemies are around you or you're trying to stealth. Healing will make an audible noise in the direction you're healing, so enemies may come and attack you. This also applies to rezzing your teammate off the ground. They can also hear it quite loud, so only res people up when you think it's absolute safe or you have time to do it. Another thing with sound, it is a good tool to maybe find out where enemies are if you have a problem seeing enemies in the view. So I'll make the bots strafe so they make some noise. You can kind of hear the opponent move. You can hear the steps inside, so we know the enemy is inside. So we can kind of get ready to fight them. So if you usually don't know where enemies are, you can kind of use your audio, just like in Valorant, to figure out where people are. Another thing that is quite good for you to do is when you defeat an enemy and they drop their loot, it may be good to try to find their shield core on their loot, because that instantly regenerates your whole shield when you pick it up. Even opponents that you broke their shield and they die, their shield should be full again. So once you take it, you'll be able to go back into another fight or deal with a third party right afterwards. They're not getting back up from that. So it is a kind of good habit to develop, to kill an opponent and then instantly go to the loot and pick up their shield. You don't have to worry about the rest of their loot, but just their shield is good enough. And usually fights go in certain different ways, and there are certain conditions how fights can be won. But it's usually when you have an advantage over the other team. So if you have full shields and the team also has full shields, so once you break their shields and you hear that knock, that is a good sign that you could push and use your advantage that you have more shields than the opponent to kind of win that fight. It also works the other way around. If your shields are gone, the enemy team may fight, so you can take preparations to play defensively, so that doesn't you don't lose that fight. Well, that was a video. It's kind of a scuffed video, to be honest, but I hope the things in here are maybe a good jump off. You still have to learn about like attachments, weapons you enjoy using, these sort of deployable things and grenades, but I think they're, especially the attachments, are kind of like pretty good to pick up on. The only other thing is looting. You're better to loot a bunch of things at a time quickly rather than looking at the thing and then your attachments. You can look at it at the start, but once you kind of see them every now and again, you kind of just pick up everything and then drop the stuff out of your inventory. But thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. If you want any specific things, I can upload those, and yeah, thank you very much.
Je t'ai rencontré simplement et tu n'as rien fait pour chercher à me plaire. Je t'aime pour